the chance who relatives detained at re-education camp. So you know so many people gathering and so many people tell the chance about re-education camps.
What is it for you, war against Islam? What are the Chinese doing?
The Chinese arresting the people, no any reason. It is just an excuse. They arrest the people if one people going the mosque. Maybe these people never pray. See, he think he is just a person, maybe one time in 1 year, just going to the mosque, they arrest him. And the people who never prayed, they continue arrest them and put them to the mosque. So the first reason, I think, not a religion excuse, not the people who visited Kazakhstan, not the people who send the children to the Kazakhstan. The reason of the Chinese officials arrest these Kazakhs, Uyghurs, Tatars, only one reason: genocide. Because they want to kill them, they want to punish them because they are not Han Chinese. We have one person in our organization, his name is Ormbek Koksebek. Everybody know about Mr. Ormbek Koksebek. He stayed at the re-education camp several months and he get Kazakhstan citizenship so many years ago. When he going to China and visited to his relatives, Chinese officials arrested him and put him to re-education camps. After our organization write an application to Foreign Affairs Minister of Kazakhstan Republic, he released after several months, and we opened one celebration party when he released, and this Mr. Ormbek Koksebek said, no any reason the Chinese officials arrested me. I can say the only reason is my nation is Kazakh. My crime is my nation is Kazakh. I'm not Han Chinese, so they arrested me. It's the original words of speech by the Mr. Ormbek Koksebek. And the people, second person who we have, we will introduce you today, Mr. Kairat Samarkand, already released from the re-education camp. He said, so many people asked him, why do you stand up and say the chas of the re-education camp? Because Mr. Kairat Samarkand is very active. He said, so many persons, they consider about their relatives, brothers, sisters, or parents who staying at China. They worry about, because after Chinese officers release them, Chinese officers warning them. If you think about your parents, or if you think about your relatives who staying at China, never say about re-education camp. And Mr. Kairat Samarkand said he warned them so many times. But after he came back to Kazakhstan, he stand up and make so many interviews to the local and the foreign media. So many people said, why do you consider about your sister in China? Because Mr. Kairat Samarkand have only one sister, only two sons, one sister and one. He said, when I released from re-education camp, I watched all of my roommates, thousands of Kazakhs detained at re-education camp. They living at re-education camp without any hope. They passing every minute hopelessly, without any medical service, no any hope, and they don't know how long they will stay at the re-education camp. No one knows about it. And the food is the very most worst food in re-education camp. And Mr. Kairat Samarkand say, okay, I will consider about my sister, only one sister. But who will consider about the thousands of millions of people who detained at re-education camp? So Mr. Kairat Samarkand said, I have to stand up and I have to say the truth about re-education camps. Every day we have visitors, 20, 30, and the holidays coming 50%.
It doesn't stop.
Non-stop. The people already came from far from 1,000 kilometers away. The next prefecture was from the Astana every time. They call us. In one day, I receive a phone call 200 times. 200 times. I receive calls. They ask how they write the application is, how they write, and where they will send. It is dangerous or not dangerous, and so many psychological problem and the political problem. They know their relatives already detained, but they afraid. They afraid from China, and they always ask me. The most popular question is, if I write something to our president, or if I write something to the human rights organizations or to the UN, maybe it will be danger to my relatives who detained at China or now living at China. They always ask. So I always answer, I don't know. If you write or not write, it is just an excuse. Chinese officials arrested every kind of Kazakhs who visited Kazakhstan 10 years ago, who visited the mosque in one time in 1 month, or who talked on WeChat, or write on WeChat something, it is not so bad words, or who uses the Kazakhstan flags, or who listens to the Kazakhstan song, or who watches the Kazakhstan video, or who watches the box fighting. One of the famous boxmen who called it the Kanat Islam, he's born in China and immigrated to Kazakhstan, and more than 50% detained at China because they watched the match of Kanat Islams. So many Kazakhs arrested because they take a picture with one of our deputy who call it the Big Polat Kleohan. Kazakhstan deputy, when he going to China, so many Kazakhs know about him because he's a good singer and he is a deputy of Kazakhstan Republic. And so many Kazakh young people take a picture with him, make selfie, and after that they detain it.
Peut-être le côté les pressions du gouvernement.
What are the pressure that you receive and those people receive?
Pressure.
Pressure. Are they?
I don't like say about bad words about our. We have a freedom in our Kazakhstan. We have a freedom making that kind of conference and making that kind of round table. But the last 6 months, no any local media reported our conference and media, except only Radio Free Europe, the Kazakh edition.
There is pressure. There is pressure.
I don't know. Maybe the pressure came from Chinese side. And in Kazakhstan, it is an open opinion of mine. I published my mind in one of the famous newspaper and call it the Voice of Kazakhs and websites. I said the Chinese soft power in Kazakhstan is stronger and stronger every day, and the Chinese soft power in Kazakhstan, they have a very close relatives every sphere of Kazakhstan Republic. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Books leadership. Do you have time to continue your job or finish it?
So we need to talk about that.
So we need to discuss about Osama.
Yeah, we need to talk about her because we came for her. Among other things.
Anna,
For you.
Yesterday,
if Mr. Ali said to you, where is she?
he, no, he